theme today, like you said. Teams on downward slide, it seems like. Rams, a lot of question marks there. Buccos, obviously, what they started 20-8, and they're now 26-27, I believe. So, I mean, just not looking good. But anyway, the Cardinals, right? You mentioned they move off DeAndre Hopkins. That leaves just about nobody in Arizona. Kyler's not going to play for most of this year. Defense is okay, but nothing special, especially if Budda Baker leaves, who he's already requested a trade. They just lack talent everywhere. And there's not a ton of wins on the schedule. Now, I know upsets happen, and they're not going to go winless, we don't think, right? They'll probably steal a game somewhere in there, right? Maybe two. But they're underdogs in all 17 of their games. Every single one of them. Now, it's opening line, so things can change. We don't know when Kyler's coming back. Right now, they're probably going with a backup. So, I mean, things change. They probably will not lose all 17 games, but the fact that they're underdogs says exactly what they are. A team in chaos. New coach, new GM, star quarterback who's not really committed, not there, not super vocal. And he's even hurt right now, so he's got less of a reason to kind of be a leader vocally and obviously on the field because he can't. And now your other, what's crazy to say, longest tenured player in DeAndre Hopkins is now gone as well. So leadership's going to lack in the locker room. And you think it's crazy. I put out a TikTok about this because I also put out a newsletter about this 2 months ago. I said, you think it's crazy that the Cardinals would move off Kyler Murray. It's not. It's really not. I mean, think about it. Patriots move off Drew Bledsoe. Now people, looking back like, it's Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady. No, but at the time it was Drew Bledsoe, top 10 to 12 guy in the league. And Tom Brady's like a 6th round pick. Right, so at the time it was like, wow, that's interesting. I guess Drew Bledsoe gets hurt a little bit too much, and I guess they can get cheaper at quarterback, and I think it's crazy. The Cardinals with Josh Rosen said, ooh, yeah, no, we only needed about 12 games to tell you that didn't work out. We'll take Kyler. Right? Tyrod Taylor, getting the Bills to the playoffs. We'll take Josh Allen. And I think Kyler Murray's better than Tyrod Taylor and better than probably Drew Bledsoe. But Caleb Williams and or Drake May as a prospect are that much better than Kyler Murray. And that much better than a lot of current NFL quarterbacks. I mean, look, the new GM didn't draft him. The new coach has no loyalty to Kyler. Why would he? He just got there. Same with the GM. I mean, ownership's in flux. What if they sell? It's not out of the realm of possibility. And you don't think the new coach, the new coach and GM look at Caleb Williams, Drake May, and go, so we can get at least a second for Kyler to help build around this young quarterback, and we can restart our clock on paying a quarterback. And we get what most would say is a better, more talented quarterback for cheaper, with less drama. It's interesting. It's a perfect rebuild with, like I said, most likely a better talented quarterback. I mean, what teams right now wouldn't give up at least a second for Kyler? No, not a lot. Right, let's go through the teams that probably would, and it's a lot. Let's assume he's healthy. Let's assume this is after this year going into next year. Obviously, things can change, but right now, what teams could very well need a quarterback? Tennessee, Miami, Vegas, Detroit, Minnesota, Washington, Atlanta, Tampa. Those are teams that right now, would give up a second for Kyler Murray. I don't doubt it for a minute.
Possibly a first.
Not 100%. That's not even including teams like Chicago. What if Fields doesn't step up this year? They also have a new coach, new GM. They didn't draft him. What if he doesn't step up and prove it this year? What if Kenny Pickett lays an egg? I don't think he will. What if he does? You have no idea. What if he does lay an egg? What if Deshaun Watson is absolutely unwatchable again? You don't think the Browns make a call? What if Anthony Richardson, much like Malik Willis last year, comes in with like big, strong, can move, but a little bit raw, needs some time to develop? Yeah, it took about 14 throws in the NFL for Tennessee to go, absolutely not, Will Levis, come on. What if that's the case with Anthony Richardson? What if Russell Wilson lays an egg again? What if he gets a Hall of Fame coach and is still a 75 pass rating? You think they're just sitting on their hands? Doubtful. What if Jordan Love can't play? Well, it's a real possibility. What if he goes out, he's the 23rd best quarterback in the league, he's got 14 turnovers? It's interesting. I floated it then, and I think that I stand by it now more than ever. The Arizona Cardinals are going to tank as much as you physically can tank in the NFL, because it's probably the hardest sport to tank in, right? It's very hard to convince 320-pound defensive and offensive linemen to say, hey, go break your thumbs for 17 weeks. Go give yourself shoulder damage, brain damage for 17 weeks for us to suck and get a better draft pick for next year when you're not even guaranteed a spot on this team. Very hard to convince NFL players to tank. But as much as they can physically tank, that's what they're going to do this year. They're going to move off Kyler Murray. They're going to get cheaper, more mature at quarterback. They'll move him for a second. Some desperate team. Like, Washington baffles me. They've needed a quarterback for, 4 straight off seasons, and they keep patching it together with, Ryan Fitzpatrick and Taylor Heineke and now Jacoby Brissett. You convince yourself that Sam Howell's the guy. I mean, they're going to have a new owner next year. Or even, might be right now, right? Didn't they just sell?
Yeah.
So they have a new owner. You just sit there and watch Jacoby Brissett win 4 games a year? Probably not. Hey, Kyler Murray, come on in. 2 seconds, that's it? Nothing. Come on in. Perfect. It's not crazy to think about. It's not crazy. I said it then. I'll say it again. I stand by it now. The Arizona Cardinals are going to move off Kyler Murray after this year, especially if they have a top 3 pick, which we all think they will because they are going to tank as much as they can, and they will be drafting Caleb Williams or Drake May next year, and that is a fact. I stand by it. I cannot wait to see it happen.
Do you want to timestamp that one? I know in
Sure, June 1st.
June 1st. What time? Just call it June 1st.
We'll just go June 1st.
June 1st.
We'll just go June 1st.
Kyler Murray will be gone. And look, I kind of agree with it too. You have to get special at quarterback. You have to find your franchise guy, the guy that you want to build it around. That place has no culture right now. Arizona has no culture. They're in shambles. You need to find your guy, and you need to start putting the pieces around him. But you can't do that until you got him, and that's going to be the challenge.
I mean, on that coaches and players survey, the players rated that like the worst team to play for. So.
Yes.
Call me crazy.
Great
here.
weather down in Phoenix, though.
Fantastic weather. You'd think that they'd be a hub for free agents, but whatever. I can't wait for that to hit. That right there, timestamp June 1st. I quoted it. I'll add some more detail to it maybe later, but that's going to be one of our best hits. But let's